Have you ever seen a town like Guadalupe? I haven't.
No.
I mean, really. Yeah, I won't show the code.
Okay.
Right in the middle of Phoenix, there's a small town that most people just drive by without ever stopping. The town is Guadalupe, Arizona. Today we're slowing down long enough to listen. You grew up here, huh?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I grew up right on Guadalupe Road.
What was that like? I mean,
It's, you know, just being part of the community and my family, you know, being here.
yeah.
It was nice to have just a little space that's ours, I guess, and really tight-knit community.
Right.
So,
I've heard that, and you're Yaqui, right?
yes.
And the story, I saw the story, but tell me the story how your people ended up here.
So from what I know is a lot of like what mainly my grandmother has told us, and it's more of like our family story of how, you know, her father and grandfather have came this way. So they were at the time, you know, with the genocide with the Mexican army and all of that history, they ended up coming this way. And I know some people went up to California. So one of my grandmother's brothers also went up to California, but her dad came this way. And then eventually meeting my grandfather, and he was from Tubac, Arizona. So he ended up coming towards the city. So that's where they met, and she lived right down here off the main road. And then, I think that's what. And so she's been here ever since. A lot of the older generation too, like when they were born, I think it's like a cool little fact that, you know, a lot of them were born here, like
right.
within the town, because they didn't go to the hospital or things
so
like
they were
that.
born right in the house.
Yeah. And so they would joke sometimes and say like, "Oh, under that tree right there."
Right.
So those are the fun little things that they would say. And so they came this way, and that's kind of where they ended up here. But also there's a few other settlements like in Chandler, Scottsdale, and somewhere in Phoenix as well, where part of the Yaqui people went to go work on the building of the canals and some of the areas where they had work.
Right. But the whole tribe decided to get away from Mexico because of the, you know, they were attacking you. And then the whole tribe just said, hey, we're leaving, right?
Some of them did.
Yeah.
Some of them stayed and fought.
Are you still in touch with some that stayed, or there's some there?
Oh,
still?
yeah. A lot of, and it's really community that's still connected.
Yeah.
We have, especially when we have our cultural ceremonies, we come back and forth
right.
constantly. And so it's a lot of tribes on this side that do that. I know the Tohono O'odham, they also do that as well.
How does that work at the border? Because you're a citizen of America, plus you're a citizen of your tribe. So how does the Mexican government treat you coming back and forth? Do you need visas? And
I think that's where our tribe is like really good at. They have those relationships, and they keep those relationships
right.
because of the importance of the cultural aspect of having, and I say that because that's our whole tribe. Like, we're one people, but geographically, of course, we have our differences. You know, we're way over here, they're way over there. So life is a little different just because of where we're located.
do they come up and do they come up and visit too, or do they?
Yes, all the time.
Now, language. What language is it? Is it like Apache, or is it your own?
No, it's the Yaqui language.
The Yaqui language. Okay.
So.
And who speaks it? Just you?
A lot of the elders do. So.
But I mean, your people only
yes.
speak it, so it's not like any of the other.
I know not formally, but it's part of I think it's the Uto Aztecan language. I know there's sister languages out there where some of the words are a little similar.
Could you, like, pigeon talk with an Apache, or?
I'm possibly if they're really
similar?
you know, yeah.
Yeah, because you look at all the words, like from Western languages that, they always have ones, because you figure they all start in one spot and all spread, but in the same, I don't know, languages are so important. Are people keeping the language?
That's one of the things that, with, the community, they try to.
Yeah.
They do a great job, What I see is that, like, living here, it's just life is on the go. We are a small community, but at the same time, we have Tempe, Chandler,
right,
Phoenix all around us. And so...
But when you stand here and look...
Yes, that is...
You don't feel like you're in the middle of Phoenix,
no.
right? I mean, we could be like somewhere...
Yeah.
Crazy on the outskirts of Arizona.
And this is home. That's my favorite thing is
what
that,
I'm saying is it's wonderful, and this is your home. And what do you feel when you leave here and go a couple blocks over?
We do recognize, like, we're a part of the area, part of here, but also I think it's more the feeling of coming back.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, okay, guards down a little bit more, or, we know what's going on. Okay, let's go for a ride and see who's outside.
Is everybody is close, right? So the community, they all know each other?
In a sense, a lot of families are getting bigger and bigger generations. So it could be extended family friends. And so I think that's kind of the safest. One of the safest things about it is, everyone knows everyone.
Right. And what are these murals? Are they?
So these murals are done by one of our community members.
Can I tape them?
Yeah. So that's our our Maso. He's our deer dancer.
Really?
And so he's a big representation of the Yaquis. And JJ Lopez, he does a lot of the murals. Then there's one of the Itomai. She's the Our Lady of Guadalupe. Hummingbirds are a big representation as well, as long as flowers.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So within the culture.
And nobody comes here and spray paint, messes them up, do they?
Yeah.
There's respect, right?
Not so much.
Yeah.
So that's, you get something, of course, here and there, because that's just inevitable anywhere you go. Yeah. But for the most part,
people, right?
Yes.
It's like that movie, It's People. So what about the younger people? Are they staying here, or do they appreciate what you have here?
Well, that's kind of the hard thing, because there's not too many, there's not so much space. So it is a small community, and at this point, it feels like you're going to have to build up, right? Rather than out, because there's not that much space anymore. A lot of it is also just the way our families live. The multi-gen house. So we have generations living with other families. But again, sometimes that's kind of what certain demographics do and things like that. So a lot of the young people stay because of that, or if they do move out, they come back and are still part of the community.
So there is a draw. People leave and then they come back, right? Because I would think this would be a great place to live.
Yes.
Because it's sort of kept the small town, mystique. It's not. There's not a Jack in the Box here. It feels like a real community. Like, it feels different than Phoenix. Mm-hmm. That's what I notice. I've always noticed that. I've always been fascinated by how it stayed this way. How do you think it did? I mean, just...
I think it's good. At one point, it's kind of like us too. We have to figure out how to keep up, right?
Yeah. With
the changing of times and everything that's going on.
Maybe not. I think you're doing better here than out there, really.
And but also keeping that aspect. So, like, even with our cultural ceremonies that happen, a lot of it is not to be recorded or taped and things like that. But again, it's inevitable with people just passing through, and especially, community members or members outside of the community. So I think it's a lot of adjusting.
Where was your house? Where do you live?
Right off of Guadalupe Road, so it's a bit more that way. But this is our community garden here.
Oh, I see. And you grow things to eat, or just...
We're trying. So
Well, this started as a farming community, didn't it? That's what I heard. Like because they talk about the three
the three
types
sisters,
of.
yeah.
What is that?
It's
Can you tell
the
us?
squash. Let me see if I can get this going. I think it's the squash.
Yeah, I won't show the code.
Okay.
All of a sudden, all the vegetables. Are
Yeah. So, yeah, this was actually started by, I think, a Girl Scout troop, and then it kind of got it handed off to community members, and then it's like gardens are it's so much to sustain that the Yaqui tribe eventually took over. This is it. A lot of the bamboo, the carrizo, that's something that's used traditionally, which you can see in
What's carrizo?
the bamboo right here.
Bamboo? Okay. So you
And
had
so-
that in Mexico, or?
It grows out here as well, but
Does it? By the rivers?
yeah, that we use for our structure here, the ramada. It's trying to bring the traditions and the culture into the garden as well, but usually they use it for ceremonial or just any structures, coming from Mexico and things
job,
like
huh?
that. Yeah, it is very nice. They were like,
Yeah.
you should extend it, and that's something we're thinking about. So, and we just have a lot of desert plants, things that can sustain out here, because that's what we're struggling with. We have a lot of garden beds, but it's like hard for anything to take.
Yeah,
So
what grows? Now, I read that this whole area, there were farms, and some of the people came and worked on the farms. And then,
I know for sure, like Baseline Road, and these are kind of
Yeah.
stories like my mom said and other community members, but Baseline Road was like orange groves,
Oh, really?
like all the way down. So
Wouldn't that
it was around.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was here, and then even like the mountain. I don't know if you've heard of the restaurant Rustler's Roost.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So the street that we were by the church, that street used to go up that way.
Okay.
And so one of our ceremonial practices of one of our ceremonies where the community members would like kind of a pilgrimage going up that way. So
How does
it's those interesting things that
Yeah, it's
you
very
kind of look
interesting.
around and you're like, oh.
How does the Catholic Church fit into the culture and
That was kind of way back when,
Yeah.
and the history with that is a lot of people take it differently, of course, just like anywhere else, but when the Jesuits coming to Mexico and introducing it, it was kind of like infused rather than just like, here you go, this is what it is. It was infused in little parts of the culture.
meaning you will do it?
Yeah.
They didn't ask.
Yes.
Right.
And
right.
so it was, in a way, that's, some people will word it that way, or just kind of like the Yaquis kind of decided, okay, we'll do this little piece, or we'll take part of this little piece, or we'll kind of put these aspects into some of the things. So you will see it kind of sprinkled in within the ceremonies. But also there's some things where you're kind of like, oh, this looks something completely different. So
Do the Yaquis go to the Catholic Church? Because there's a church right in the middle, right?
the one where we were,
Yeah.
yes.
Did people go?
So the smaller one on the left, from, again, this is kind of like just history, family
Yeah.
members would tell me, was just for ceremonial purposes. So during the Lenten season, when they would do their ceremonies, that's what the church was used for mainly. So the bigger church on the right side, which the diocese kind of, I don't want to say overtook, but they pretty much facilitate everything that's in there. That was more for like weddings and quinceañeras and parties, more not so ceremonial traditionally.
What do they do when the deer dancers come out? He goes back in search.
Oh, and that's
Because that's your culture.
It kind of goes, so it's like kind of anybody coming in, it's like you have to adjust yourself to us.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
because you're coming into the community, and
the community, is it part of the tribe, or is it a town in Arizona?
No,
What is it? Is it reservation?
it's an incorporated town. and that was in the 1970s,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, it was incorporated by groups of the community, and that wasn't just Yaqui, people. That was also Hispanic or
Because there's a
Mexican American.
mix of people, right? And
Yes.
about 4,000 people, 4,500? And what's the mix? Yaqui and Mexican?
It's a good mix,
Yeah.
yeah, especially now because of just, people getting older generations,
Right.
and so being around the area, it's
Does everybody get along, like, pretty much?
I mean, anywhere, it's literally like anywhere. So, of course, all of those things come up and, things like that. But for the most part, I feel like everyone has a respect, hopefully, has a respect for everyone.
Well, like you say, it's your place. Like, even though it's everybody knows coming in, this is, like, we know.
It's a community. And
why-
that's, yeah, it's a community. And I think it's like anybody that lives here knows that, whether they're Yaqui or non, it's this tight-knit community. And I think the preservation, again, whether the background, it's kept as like a small town. So
Well, I think it's fascinating that it stayed this way, because most towns can't. They're swept up by the wave of civilization. And this is like, it's just chill, man. It's just chill. You come and you have a different, even standing right here, it's a different.
It's nice. I love this garden.
Yeah, it's
it
really
does
good.
feel a little different. Yeah. So the mesquite tree is the huge one that's giving everything shade. That is one of the trees, that grow here, obviously, and in Mexico are one of the big ones that are constantly used.
It seems like our culture, like the American culture, they don't value elders. They're like, some do, but I think some of the native cultures are way better at that, don't you think?
Yes, and that is exactly what our community is like.
Yeah.
And specifically just the Guadalupe community is that they and I know as kids and the young person growing up, it's hard to like learn that lesson that you should kind of listen, and it's something special to have when you have grandparents or even great grandparents
or even parents.
Yeah. And so I think they do a good job. A lot of our community, whether it's in the Western, eyes, if it's bad, but a lot of our grandparents are caretakers for their grandkids because mom and dad is working, mom and dad is going to school, mom and dad is still. So that also goes with like the multi-generational in the home. Like that's kind of just what our people kind of, it's kind of what works for us.
Yeah. Did you grew up in that, or is it still?
Oh yeah. And so like grandma and grandpa, we go to their house every day after school. Mom would be working, and then she would come and pick us up, and we'd go home. So, we spent a lot of time with our grandma and grandpa, and just aunts and uncles. So it's like a full family unit rather than just, the mom and dad.
Right. It
aspect.
Seems like a good way to go too, because you could share from everybody. Plus, it's a lot cheaper.
Yes. Especially now.
Because now it's like everybody gets out and everybody gets a new place. Everyone's paying a mortgage. It's like, what if you all had a compound? We have a lot more money.
Yes. And some families are like that. I know back when my grandma had her house here, and my uncle lived right next door, so we had a huge backyard.
What plans are there for the future to keep it this way, or is anyone planning that, or is it just?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Without getting too political, I hope so.
I don't want to get you in trouble or anything, but what would? Because you look at it and think, man, this.
It's a special place. Not a lot of people have this. Not a lot of people.
But I bet people have come and said, hey, we'd like to buy half the northern half to put up a condominium.
They'll even do for houses. Like, if you have a house, they're like, hey, we want to buy your house,
But no, I don't see any lots that have been taken over and someone put in a $6 million home. It's just, I don't see it, So do people come in and say, hey, I want to buy your house? And
I think so for sure. And some people are either just don't answer or just like, no, thank you.
What do you think people like from outside the community like don't get about Guadalupe? Is there anything they don't understand, or?
It's just a community like anywhere else, but of course it has its own identity, its own language, its own culture, whether it's like town culture or, you know, ceremonial culture.
Yeah. What do you hope happens here? Does it stay the same? Or?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope it stays the same, and I would hope a lot of, you know, I mean, just me being a tribal member, you know, that the culture is still preserved here, and also, you know, the rights to practice the culture, the rights to, you know, kind of share that identity without it changing with the times.
And that's the challenge too, is right, keep it the way it was, but then deal with what's happening now, right? I hope you keep it just like it is, because I like it like this.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's like, I really do. You stand here and you think this, you know, we could be not in Phoenix, that's for sure. Yeah, it's special, you know.
But then too, it's like, cool, we just go down the road and we're at the mall.
You don't have to drive.
We can hop on the freeway and go to the, you know, so those, it's like, it's good, and, you know, the perks are all there.
Like at night, is it, nobody comes through here, right? Usually nobody's, you have it all to yourself.
Sometimes,
in a way?
Yeah, in a way.
How's crime here? Is it?
It's, that's the other thing too, though. It's a lot, but it's different. And again, it's, how do you say that? It's more of what is the trends right now, I guess, depending on what is happening.
It's not about your community, it's about every community. Every community is suffering from fentanyl and violence and drugs. Drugs are...
The homelessness and that's everywhere, you know, and it's a struggle. So finding resources, you know,
that's what you do, right? What do you do? I mean,
so that's pretty much what we do. You know, we're prevention, but also we work with those that work in harm reduction. And so they come in and they're able to, with, you know, their team, to provide resources, to provide anything that community members will need.
So that's a good thing.
And the cool part is they've been consistent within the community, and so the community is open to going. So they'll even do focus groups. They'll also do focus groups. They'll have conversations. They're comfortable. And because it's consistent, they show up. They show up for the help. So those are some of the things that I even feel like inside the community don't really understand, those perspectives of, you know, either being a family member of someone who is, you know, addicted or, you know, is struggling. Those are a lot of the...
Like you say, that's affecting everybody.
So, and that's essentially what it is it is everywhere, but it is a little different, I would say, because of like maybe stigmas within communities, or, you know, communication is different within the communities. So.
Is there well, that's interesting. Is the family communicates differently?
I think so. It's
like they're more quiet or less?
I think culturally, and even in the generation, a lot of people, I don't want to say that, but it's just learning how to, especially with the like the grandparents raising grandkids. You have two completely opposite ends of the spectrum of generation, and communication is completely different there, where it's learning each other, learning just what's in the times now.
I'm noticing that too.
And so that's you know, even with my program, you know, we try to promote like those positives and get ways to how to communicate.
And what's the program called?
The Guadalupe Prevention Partnership.
Okay.
So,
what's the motto of the town?
Where three cultures flourish.
And the cultures were Yaqui, Mexican, and Anglo, or?
I think so. I haven't really.
We know one is Yaqui.
Yes. It's just, you know, kind of a town that's just the same as any other, where we're unique in our ways and our culture, again, language, identity.
Well, I've never. Have you ever seen a town like Guadalupe? I haven't.
No.
I mean, really, in all my travels, I have
Trying
never
to be humble. No.
Yeah, but there's something unique about it. I mean, that's why we came here, because. And I noticed that when I first moved here, I came through. I said, nobody goes here. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody, and that's the beauty of it, right? That's why, good for you, right?
Yeah, and also, which is funny because one of the, I wouldn't call it a trend, but some TikTokers, like influencers, like the food people,
right?
They have been coming down, and so
restaurant?
they've been coming. Not so much the restaurants, but like the homes that sell food.
Oh, okay.
So we have a few community members that sell food, and they
sell to the public, you mean?
Yes.
How do you find them?
They'll just put signs on this road.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there's any right now. There's one maybe back there.
So the TikTokers come and start talking.
Yes.
And that's good for business, probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Was there anything we should mention? Any plug?
The one I like going to, she's down the road right here. Her name's Rebecca Hiokamea.
Well, your name's Rebecca.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she does enchiladas. She does burritos. A lot of some desserts. And so she'll always put her sign right here on this street.
Yeah.
And she's just right down the road. And she usually cooks on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
So a baseball community, so the field right here, we have a big baseball field where the lights are.
And there's one
that is always
by
full.
the church too, right?
Yes, right here.
So everybody likes baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But it's cool because the younger generations are finding, we have a lot of musicians here as well. What else?
But do the young people know how cool this is to have a place like this? I mean,
I would think so. I hope so. Or really, it's probably like, this is just home, you know? I think that's what it is. And then you get to a certain age where you're like...
You appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah, you reach that age where, hey, Dad was right.
Yeah.
How old is your daughter?
She is 9.
9. You have one?
I have 3.
3? Oh, my. How are the sheriffs?
They're pretty, again, kind of the established.
Yeah.
They work, I think the government's work as best as they can with the tribe and the town and the MCSO to work together, especially with safety.
Are there any tribal members on the council? And who's the mayor? Is the mayor a tribal member?
She is a tribal member,
okay.
yes.
Cool.
Mayor is a tribal member. I believe there might be, I don't know how many seats there are, 7?
Are you going to run?
No.
No.
I like working with community.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can barely sit in meetings now.
Yeah, you might fall asleep, right?
Yeah. You know. So I think only like maybe 1 or 2 on the town council are not tribal members.
Oh, okay. So you're represented.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People aren't just doing what they want with the place.
I mean, not to get political, but you know, it's definitely different when it comes to politics.
Yeah, I mean,
it's different. So
you go to any tribal government and the people. I've heard stories of all kinds. You know, missing casino money. Now you don't have casinos, do you?
No, not well.
You have one down south.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a small one, the very first one they have, Casino of the Sun.
So do you get like casino money?
No.
No. See, that's the
no.
you should, right?
And then they made the second one. It's Casino del Sol.
Yeah.
And then they're making a third one. Right off of, I think it's off of Grant Road. So a little bit more in the city, like right before you get to the reservation. I think that's where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this school just got remodeled too. I think my daughter's in 3rd grade.
New build or?
Yeah, so she started her first year in kindergarten here. So.
How's the school?
It's really good. They're really well in tune with the community. It's the only school within the town limits. So everyone else has to go to Tempe or Chandler.
So this goes to what grade?
5th.
5th, okay, and then they go out of the community?
Yes.
Will you ever make another school on the town?
No, I don't think there's enough space.
Yeah, it seems to be like
it's very small.
The space is the problem, right? But everyone has a nice elbow room, you know? It's like,
oh yeah.
But people do come in and want to buy the properties, right?
Yeah.
And what would they do with them, you know? I mean,
that's kind of the scary part.
But I bet as real estate investors, they're looking at, oh, if only we could buy this block, you know.
I'm sure.
Because they're all about the money. You could care about the money. You want to keep the
And it's like,
place.
yeah, and it's a very high, what is that called? This is like a priority area, you know, like everything's right
this would,
around.
You could sell this property for huge.
Yeah.
You could all go off, you know, millionaires. But then it would be done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's also a Guadalupe cemetery, which was the original town site.
That's where the town
which
site
is
was?
right off of Baseline.
Yeah. And it's
right
just
in the neighborhood, yeah.
Surrounded by houses. So I imagine years ago there was nothing around, and then it all just settled around here.
This is the tribal seal, and then this is our coalition. Sewa Tomteme. So, Sewa is a flower.
Okay.
Tomteme is, the way they translate it is blossoming flower.
Great.
So.
Well, again, thank you for sharing your place and yourself and your time. And can I give you a hug?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We'll be your pal. We'll come visit.
Awesome.
Every town has a story. In Guadalupe, they're holding on to theirs. Right over there. Thanks for riding along.